$3.5 billion. Whether Afghans stay or flee in far greater numbers will depend on the Taliban.
And I would like to ask, as a woman, please, don't recognize the Emirate Islamic Taliban without any condition and don't put us again in the same situation. Thank you very much.
There's precious little anyone else can do.
It was extremely difficult to make the decision to end the NATO military presence in Afghanistan, and it was difficult because I share your pain.
NATO's 20-year mission in Afghanistan has ended in failure. European alliance members can do little more now than watch and wait for what comes next. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera.
The Ontario government has announced it will offer third doses of COVID-19 vaccines to the most vulnerable, including transplant patients and people in long-term care. But experts say there's not yet evidence they're needed in the wider population. Christine Birak of CBC News has the details.
With COVID infections rising, Ontario says it's time to offer some people a third shot of vaccine.
We are preparing aggressively for the fall. I am sorry to say I think it's going to be a difficult fall and winter.
Which is why transplant recipients, blood cancer patients, and those on certain meds can now get a third vaccine dose 8 weeks after their second. And people living in long-term care and other high-risk group settings will need to wait 5 months. Early results from an Ontario study suggest frail older adults do not mount as strong an immune response for COVID-19 vaccines as younger and healthier individuals.
Effectively, there's a significant proportion, perhaps as many as 20%, of people living in long-term care who don't have enough antibodies after 2 shots to fully protect them.
Researchers say this could explain breakthrough infections in some fully vaccinated seniors. Beyond vulnerable groups, though, the World Health Organization insists to date the evidence remains limited on any widespread need for booster doses. Still, reports from the U.S. say the Biden administration wants to start offering boosters for most Americans 8 months after vaccination, even though most of the world hasn't had access to any vaccines yet.
To not be used to keep people alive is really not just epidemiologically not sound, but it's morally reprehensible.
2 years ago, I had a double lung transplant.
In Manitoba, Shannon McMartin is hoping other provinces will follow Ontario's lead and offer booster shots to high-risk groups.
People may think it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to me. It could save our lives.
For now, Canada's National Advisory Committee on Vaccines is not recommending third doses for anyone, but they'll be meeting soon, and their advice could change by the end of the month. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
And now for the weather. Present weather shows fair skies with slight dust haze. Winds are a moderate breeze of 14 miles per hour from an easterly direction. The temperature is 30 degrees Celsius or 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are moderate with waves of 4 to 5 feet. Today will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Tonight should also be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 6:34 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 5:55 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.